Right now, we are learning new information about a Wisconsin senator's involvement in the unfolding Ukraine scandal at the center of the impeachment inquiry.
And breaking news overnight, a traffic stop turns into a suspect being pulled from a swamp. We're live at the scene with the very latest.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
But we start this morning on Tuesday, November 19th with the weather. Meteorologist Hattie McLean, another alert day, and it looks like a mess of a morning commute.
It could definitely be a mess. We're talking rain and snow and maybe even a little bit of freezing rain this morning for parts of southern Wisconsin. So let's get you the latest information. It is an alert day due to the potential for slippery roads this morning. All types of precipitation are on the table as temperatures are right around 32 here in Madison. Here's what's showing up on the radar map this morning. The precipitation has mainly been west of Madison up until now, but you see it is starting to reach the capital city. And it's right as everyone is going to hit the roads for the morning commute. So plan a little extra time. There may be some slippery spots this morning. There may be some rain and freezing rain mixing in with that snow at times. Here's a look at our temperatures today. Again, close to freezing this morning, but we will climb well above the freezing point, so any slippery spots will melt by the afternoon. Our high is 39 degrees today. Let's take a look at those traffic maps early this morning. We'll see if anything is happening here in Madison. Still a few brake lights showing up on Stoughton Road. Otherwise, no other major incidents to tell you about. I did look around southern Wisconsin. No accidents right now, but keep in mind it is snowing west of Dane County. And that's your first alert traffic.
Hattie, thank you. We want to get to that breaking news right now that we've been following all morning. A traffic stop turned into a chase overnight that ended in a swamp.
Our Keely Arthur is live at the scene with the very latest from police. Keely?
Good morning, Leah and Josh. Yes, this started out as a traffic stop, but that person tried to run away from police, and that's where things got a little chaotic. Multiple agencies were led here to the corner of Rimrock and John Nolan Drive at what authorities are calling a swamp area. Now, that a suspect was arrested, and things have calmed down a bit, but here's a rundown of what happened just 4 hours ago. Officers stopped the car just after 12:45 this morning for a violation near Rimrock Road. While getting pulled over, the suspect slowed the car, but before the car could come to a complete stop, the suspect got out and ran, actually leaving the car in reverse, leading it to cross the lanes of John Nolan Drive and then hit a curb where thankfully it stopped. Monona, Fitchburg, and Madison police responded to this. The suspect was actually found hiding in the swamp area and then was pulled out of the area. And again, as we mentioned, that suspect is now in custody. The situation cleared, but certainly chaotic earlier. Multiple authorities were called and canines and drones were actually used to find the suspect. Obviously, a lot of questions still unanswered at this hour, Josh and Leah, but we are working with authorities to learn them as soon as we can.
All right, Keely Arthur reporting live for us this morning. Thank you very much, Keely.
We're also learning new information this morning about Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson's involvement in the ongoing impeachment inquiry into President Trump.
Senator Johnson released an 11-page letter to House Republicans detailing his version of events surrounding the inquiry. The House GOP had reached out to Johnson yesterday, asking, quote, reluctantly, for any firsthand information he had about the Ukraine scandal. In his letter, Johnson wrote it did not register with him if the president told his aides to talk to Rudy Giuliani about matters related to Ukraine.
Johnson also questions the motives of the inquiry. He says government officials who raise concerns about the president's conduct are doing it because they haven't accepted the president as legitimate, calling out Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman by name.
Now, Alexander Vindman is one of the witnesses set to testify today as public hearings for that inquiry pick back up. Along with Vindman, Vice Presidential aide Jennifer Williams will also testify. Williams is one of 3 people who listened in on the president's July phone call with the president of Ukraine. Now be sure to stick around after News 3 Now this morning. CBS This Morning will be bringing you complete coverage of those hearings from start to finish. That begins at 8.
Meanwhile, happening tomorrow, Vice President Mike Pence is gearing up to visit Wisconsin once again. His office says he'll tour and speak at Marinette Marine tomorrow. The vice president was first scheduled to visit the company back in October, but that was canceled at the last minute.
To campaign 2020 now, 10 Democratic presidential candidates are set to debate tomorrow in Atlanta. This debate will have 2 fewer candidates than there were for October's debate. The final lineup is Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, Tom Steyer, Elizabeth Warren and Andrew Yang. The Democratic National Committee confirms they have all met the polling and grassroots fundraising thresholds.
We now know the name of the victim killed in a Rock County shooting this past weekend. 34-year-old Dwayne Buchanan was shot before 4 in the morning on Saturday in Beloit, not far from Beloit College. Beloit police are searching for 2 cars believed to be connected to that murder, a silver SUV and a blue Volkswagen sedan. Both could have broken windows.
A Sun Prairie teen could serve more than 3 years in prison for terrorism charges. 17-year-old Gabrielle Pierre reportedly told a staff member at the Early Learning Center that he wanted to be a shooter and planned to use his next paycheck to buy a gun. The teen's mom told police his father had hunting rifles in their home, but that they are locked up in a safe.
The man who started shooting inside a local nightclub will serve jail time. 36-year-old Cole Foster will serve 10 months in jail with work release and 4 years of probation if he violates the probation terms. Foster will serve 4 years in prison. Foster was found guilty of first-degree reckless injury and endangerment, among other charges. 4 people were hospitalized in that shooting, and a 5th person was stabbed.
An update from the state capitol now. Governor Evers says he will not call a special session on gun control anytime soon, but he'd be open to having one in the future. Take a listen to his comments on that topic yesterday.
Certainly, we're disappointed, and I can't even say it was the result of the lack of interest in taking on this issue. So I continue to hold that option open, but I won't be making a decision today.
The governor called a special session on gun control earlier this month, but both the Senate and Assembly gavelled in and out without debate.
A local teen with 9 open cases in the court system is due in court today. 17-year-old DeMonte Tillman is facing counts of theft, burglary, criminal damage to property, hit and run, bail jumping, and stealing a car. He managed to get out of jail on a signature bond each time he was arrested up until his most recent arrest 2 weeks ago. His preliminary hearing is set for 9 o'clock this morning.
Right now, the man suspected in an attempted homicide is being held on a $30,000 cash bond. 32-year-old Donald Lewis was arrested in connection with that shooting at Club Landmark on Madison's east side back in October. A 36-year-old man was shot outside the club and showed up at the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police got DNA from the scene and matched it to Lewis. He'll be back in court a week from today.
7 minutes past 6 o'clock right now on a Tuesday morning. As we move into winter, the salt is already starting to pile up on our cars. Coming up, we're going to show you why it's so important to keep your car clean and just how often you should be getting it washed to avoid damage in the long run.
Maybe not the best day for a car wash today. Hattie's keeping an eye on an alert day for a wintry mix during your morning commute. She'll have the very latest coming up next on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the patio. Relatively mild outside this morning. Temperatures are right around the freezing point. Haven't seen a whole lot of precipitation yet here in Madison, but it's on its way. Today is an alert day, mainly for the morning hours, with the impact of this mixed precipitation on the morning commute. And again, the three T's for winter weather. The type this morning with temperatures right around 32. I do expect a mix of precipitation, rain, snow possible, as well as a little bit of freezing rain early. Now, this is mainly going to be a morning event for us. It will come to an end by the midday hours, but it will impact the morning commute. And totals are going to be very light, less than a half an inch of snow, mainly in southwestern Wisconsin. There could be a light glazing of ice on some area roads. However, it will melt this afternoon with temperatures above freezing. Now, here is the latest on high-resolution Doppler radar. The heaviest rain and snow has been staying south and west of Madison. Some of that light precipitation trying to work its way through Dane County right now, but really starting to break up a little bit as it does so. So this precipitation not expected to really impact the Milwaukee metro area today. Mainly be south central and southwestern Wisconsin. It's pretty isolated when you zoom the map out. You're not going to see a widespread precipitation for the area this morning, and it will continue to diminish as we go through the next couple of hours. So the probability of precipitation comes down to near nothing by the time you hit the midday hours. Just cloudy skies after that. Total snow accumulation is expected to be on the light side. Keep in mind this is in addition to what may have already fallen overnight, but less than a half an inch expected. Our current conditions, 32 still here in Madison. No wind to speak of this morning, so no wind chill to factor in early today. But temperatures are tricky, and that makes it very tricky to forecast the type of precipitation. 34 now in Janesville, 32 here in Madison. It drops to 30 in the Dells. Platteville still holding steady with some light snow and 33 degrees. Winds are nearly calm in all locations, though, across southern Wisconsin. Take a look at your future track forecast model. Again, that's snow possibly mixed with rain, mainly from Madison and points to the west. It does diminish pretty quickly, so already by lunchtime, just cloudy skies. Temperatures above freezing in all locations. Look for highs real close to 40 this afternoon. Clouds will hang around through the evening and overnight hours. That will keep temperatures a little bit milder overnight. 32 for the overnight low. Dry through the day tomorrow, but then rain is back in the forecast Wednesday night into Thursday. Looks like we are definitely going to be on the warm side of that storm system, so all rain, no snow for southern Wisconsin Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll get some sunshine back into the area for the upcoming weekend. Now let's take a look at those first alert traffic maps. This time we'll send it over to Josh Tim for all the details. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, we are dealing with some misty, rainy, kind of foggy mix happening right now here in the Madison area. It could make roads a little bit icy. Just make sure you drive with some extra caution when you head out the door. So far, though, the Beltline is moving well with no major delays in either direction. Other roads here in Dane County aren't looking too bad right now. Just some of the usual brake lights on Stoughton Road as you approach the Beltline. Nothing to slow you down on campus. Volume is not an issue at this point. And other main routes coming into the city, they're cruising at the usual speeds with no crashes or delays. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you very much, Josh, and thank you, Hattie. So as you know, 'tis the season for slushy, snow-covered roads and white, gritty ice melt coating our vehicles. But it's important to be cleaning that stuff off.
Stresses me out just thinking about it. Area car washes see more business during the winter months. With all the salt, dirt, and grime your car picks up around this time of year, you might be wondering how often you should be getting it washed. The answer might surprise you. We're told you should be washing your car at least once a week. Road salt, snow, and moisture can erode your vehicle and lead to rusting. And once that rust starts, it's hard to stop.
If you don't wash it, it will corrode the paint. I mean, it gets underneath the suspension. I mean, it starts building up. I mean, you get snow, ice, and all that. It's really hard to steer sometimes. I mean, it takes a lot on the tires, too. I mean, yeah, you want to try to keep as much of that stuff off as you can, and the only way to do it is to run it through the wash.
You're also advised to avoid washing your car when the temperature is below freezing because the water will immediately freeze and you'll end up driving around in a popsicle. Nobody wants that kind of popsicle. It will be especially hard to de-ice your windows if you wash your car when it's below 32 degrees.
Now, I know this is something you take very seriously.
Once a week, I get mine done.
You always, and your car always looks very nice. I rarely wash mine.
Yeah, we need to get you going on that one.
You should see the inside of my car.
Oh boy, I probably don't want to.
No. All right, the Better Business Bureau is warning against secret sister gift exchanges, calling them illegal pyramid schemes. It starts with an email or a social media invitation. People are asked to buy and then mail a modest gift to a stranger, and they're told they will get a certain number of gifts in return. They're also encouraged to invite other people to the gift exchange, but the Better Business Bureau says the scam relies on recruiting people to keep it afloat and can leave hundreds of people out of money and a gift. The BBB recommends never giving your personal information away to strangers and always be wary of false claims. Now, if you have a question about a scam like this, or maybe a suspicious business, or really any consumer question or complaint, our Call for Action volunteers can help you out with that. They're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 until 1. You can reach them at that number right there on your screen. That's 608-270-2833.
A local music venue has made a new social media page to work against fake accounts targeting them. The Sylvie says its current Facebook event pages are being overrun with fake accounts, bots, and scammers. Their new Facebook group, the Sylvie Backstage, is active right now. It allows fans to share concert photos, discuss upcoming shows, and safely buy and sell tickets without scammers overtaking comment sections.
It's just really hard to have real conversations around the shows that were happening, and hopefully this Facebook group kind of helps with that and helps build more of a community.
The events pages will still be active, but all comments are disabled. Officials say they brought the scams to Facebook support multiple times. When Facebook didn't help, they decided to cut commenting altogether. All right, it is a big day. Today is opening day for Hamilton in downtown Madison.
Oh yeah, the musical is expected to draw large crowds to the area, and the Overture Center wants to make sure you're prepared, whether you're going or not. Organizers suggest that you arrive early if you're driving to the show. Most of those shows are expected to sell out, which is going to make parking tighter than usual. Even if you're not going, downtown parking going to be a mess tonight. Guests will be subject to wand and bag checks as well. Doors open 90 minutes before showtime. You'll be let into the theater itself half an hour before showtime. Hamilton is in Madison through December 8th. It's going to be a big deal.
It is so exciting.
Oh yeah. As the number of people with vaping-related illnesses rise, parents are looking for ways to keep their teens safe. Coming up, we're going to show you how one local high school is trying to stop the ongoing epidemic of teen vaping.
And Hattie's tracking a wintry mix at the bus stop this morning. She'll have the latest on this alert day forecast and the impact on your morning commute. This is News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. 6:21 on your Tuesday. You're taking a live look at the intersection of Rimrock and John Nolan next to the Alliant Energy Center. That's the scene of breaking news this morning, where a police chase ended in that swamp when the driver of a traffic stop got out of his car while it was still moving and ran into the swamp. Now, there were no injuries. There is a suspect in custody. Our Keely Arthur is talking to police throughout the morning. She's going to have the very latest. That's coming up in about 10 minutes.
And to our other top story today, an alert day underway once again. A mess of a morning commute. Look at this Platteville cam right now.
Yeah, snow's been coming down there. You can see it's starting to accumulate on the parking lot and on the grassy surfaces. So there is some snow in parts of our viewing area. Temperatures are very close to the freezing point as well. So there may be some rain mixing in. In fact, let's take a look. Today is an alert day for the morning hours due to that potential for a mix. There may be some slippery roads. Keep in mind bridges and overpasses ice over more quickly. Here's a look at high-resolution Doppler radar. You can see that the heaviest steady precipitation right along the Mississippi River Valley. That snow and rain starts to break up a little bit as it pushes towards the east. Now, it will continue to diminish as it tracks eastward today. We're talking just a couple of hours with precipitation this morning. But timing and temperatures not working in our favor. It'll happen during the morning commute. Temperatures right around 32 degrees. That means there could be some rain or even some freezing rain mixing in spots. Janesville's 34, but in the Dells, it's only 30. So plan a little extra time to get to your destination this morning. Watch out for those kids waiting for the bus as well. A mixture of precipitation early, just cloudy skies then through the afternoon. If there are any slippery spots on the roads this morning, they'll melt later on today as highs reach 39 degrees. Have a wonderful Tuesday.
Thank you very much, Hattie. The country's biggest e-cigarette maker is being sued this morning. The state of California alleges that Juul Labs deliberately marketed and sold its flavored nicotine products to teenagers. This is just the latest legal action against Juul, a company being widely blamed for helping to spark the teen vaping craze. A Juul spokesperson says the company's intended customers are adult smokers, adding, quote, "We do not intend to attract underage users."
Parents at a local high school are working to fight the recent surge in vaping. In just the last few years, it's gone from 11% of kids using to 27%. Parents at Edgewood heard from a doctor about the current trends, what to look for, and the dangers behind vaping at a meeting last night. They learned that in addition to usage as a whole going up, some high schoolers are consuming the equivalent of up to 4 to 5 packs a day. Now, this can lead to mood disorders, attention disorders, and lifelong addiction. Doctors say the best thing parents can do is educate themselves and their kids.
We know the teenage brain is very sensitive to nicotine, and we know the vast majority of adult smokers started as teenagers. One really important thing that parents can do is have this conversation with their kids.
Dr. Williams says there's more as a country and a state we can do as well. He says increasing the buy-in age to 21, eliminating flavored cartridges, and taxing are all ways we could cut back on seeing this in teenagers.
Meanwhile, President Trump is changing his stance on e-cigarettes. Less than 2 months ago, the president proposed banning all flavored e-cigarette and vaping products, with federal regulators already signing off on the plan. Now, the New York Times is reporting the president's advisors have warned him that following through on that proposal could hurt his campaign and cause job losses.
Dane County will soon open a new mental health resource center.
One of the top needs identified by all who have examined this challenge is that of a universal access point. In other words, a system in which any door one enters is the right door.
The Mental Health Universal Access Resource Center will help those in need of care, their family members, and providers navigate healthcare networks and share resources. It'll be funded and operated by Dane County. The county will also pay for crisis intervention training for all police, fire, and EMS personnel, so they're better equipped to respond to mental or behavioral health calls.
Of the 21 residence halls on the UW campus, only 6 have automatic external defibrillators, or AEDs, to be used in the event of a heart attack. A group of students is working to change that. The organization Cardiac on Campus is using the $1,200 they raised to buy an AED for Whitty Residence Hall. This is the 3rd AED bought and donated by the group. They've also CPR certified more than 600 people, including residence hall supervisors. The group was founded by 2 cousins back in 2015 after a family member who was just 20 years old died of cardiac arrest.
We focus on reaching your 20-year-olds and your college-age students because they don't view it as a priority, and it had a massive impact on our family. And it's a catastrophic event in the life of any family that loses a son at that kind of age, because it's not something that you see coming.
The group says while some Big Ten schools require AEDs in each residence hall, UW does not. Each minute defibrillation is delayed, the odds of survival are reduced by 10%. That's why the organization is working to get AEDs in every residence hall. They're hoping to donate more in the coming months.
The holidays are a busy time of year, but the American Red Cross is making it easy and rewarding to give the most important gift on some patients' wish list, a life-saving blood donation. The Red Cross is thanking those who give from now through December 18th with a $5 Amazon gift card. This is all in thanks of being the lifeline patients need this holiday season. Just go to redcross.org to find a blood drive near you.
All right, still ahead, we are tracking some possible freezing rain for your morning commute. Hattie is updating her alert day forecast after the break.
And our Keely Arthur is continuing to bring us the latest from an overnight police chase that ended with a suspect being found in a swamp. That's coming up next on News 3 Now this morning.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for joining us on your Tuesday, November 19th. We want to get straight to Miss Hattie McLean and her alert day forecast for a wintry mix this morning, Hattie.
Yeah, once again happening during the morning commute. It looks quite different from here in Madison over into Platteville. Take a live look at our Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville this morning, where they've had snow for the last couple of hours at least, and everything has a fresh coating of white once again. Here's a look at the alert day forecast. It is just for this morning. Slippery roads are possible this morning. There is a potential for some rain or freezing rain to mix in with that snow at times. Here's a look at the radar map, and you can see all colors represented, especially south of Madison right now, where there may be a mix in and around Monroe. We've had just a few snowflakes so far here in Madison. That snow is weakening as it tries to move eastward throughout the day. So look for impacts the morning commute, but then by the afternoon, we're looking at mainly dry conditions, just cloudy skies. So no problems getting home from work later today. Temperatures are within a degree or two of freezing all across southern Wisconsin, so that's why we have the potential for rain and snow. As you head out the door forecast says that some sidewalks or maybe bridges or overpasses may be a little slippery this morning. Keep in mind they ice over more quickly. Temperatures, though, will be above freezing later on this afternoon. Here's a look at your traffic maps early today. No major issues, just the usual crowd showing up at Stoughton Road and at Park Street in the Beltline right now. Otherwise, I did look around southern Wisconsin with that snow in southwestern Wisconsin. Roads are starting to get snow covered and a little bit slippery, but no delays right now. That's your first alert traffic.
Hattie, thank you. We're also following breaking news this morning. A suspect is behind bars after a chase ended in a swamp overnight.
Keely Arthur is continuing to update us with the very latest. She's live near the Alliant Energy Center. Keely?
Good morning, Leah and Josh. Yes, this started out as just a routine traffic stop, but the suspect tried to run away, leading multiple agencies to this area just off of Rimrock and John Nolan Drive, what authorities are calling a swamp. Now, this started at 1 in the morning. Here's a look at what happened earlier. Officers stopped the car just after 12:45 this morning for a violation near Rimrock Road. While getting pulled over, the suspect slowed the car, but before the car could come to a complete stop, the suspect got out and ran away, actually leaving the car in reverse, leading it to cross lanes on John Nolan Drive and hit a curb where thankfully it stopped. Monona, Fitchburg, and Madison police responded to this. The suspect was actually found hiding in the swamp area where they had to be pulled out. Now, little details are known about the suspect right now, including their gender. Their car, however, did have Ohio license plates, so this person may have been out of state. We're working with authorities to learn more details. But Leah and Josh, a lot of resources on the scene earlier. They actually used canines and drones to locate the suspect, who again is behind bars as we speak. Back to you two.
Really just an incredible story overnight.
Right.
Keely, thank you very much.
Right now, officials believe they have found the human remains of one of the two missing Wisconsin brothers in Nebraska. Officials say a rancher found the remains in a tub inside a stock trailer that was recently bought in Missouri, where the two brothers were believed to have been killed this summer. Deputies noticed personal items in the tub as well, possibly belonging to one of the brothers.
This morning, a woman is being charged in connection to the death of a 26-year-old. Officials say Jason Daly died from blunt force trauma, according to a criminal complaint. A deputy visited his home because he hadn't been to work in 2 days. Daly's girlfriend, 27-year-old Crystal Ferris, says she didn't know where he was. 25 minutes later, the deputy returned and found Daly's body with visible head injuries. Ferris was found unresponsive and on top of a 2-month-old baby with a bag of pills next to her. She's charged with first-degree intentional homicide, hiding a corpse, and neglecting a child.
A local company is picking up the pieces after a car crashed into their building this weekend for the second time this year. The first crash at Di Rienzo Monuments on Regent Street happened back in January on the coldest day of the year. This second time, there's a car-sized hole in the building.
My heart was just pounding. I kept saying, okay, just breathe and hopefully it won't be as bad. And actually, when I drove up and saw, I went, oh my God, that's minor, just a hole in the wall, you know? I mean, compared to the damage from the first time, it felt pretty minor.
The person who crashed into the building this time had to be taken to the hospital. The car was towed.
Looking ahead, there will be a new way repeat offenders of drunken driving will serve out their sentence. Attorney General Josh Kaul and Governor Tony Evers are introducing a nearly $120,000 grant that will go to Lafayette County so they can operate and create an operating while intoxicated court. The OWI court is an alternative to sending repeat offenders to jail. It'll require offenders to stay sober, go to court on a weekly basis, and go to a weekly treatment and behavioral therapy in hopes of getting them the treatment they need. The county hopes the court will be up and running by July. 6:36 is your time this morning, and coming up in the morning sprint, we're telling you the latest on a Wisconsin lawmaker's involvement in the impeachment inquiry.
And the Brewers are showing off some new threads. We'll give you a look at next season's uniforms. That's when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
Welcome back at 6:39. We've been asking you to share your morning with us, and Jolene sent this photo in from Avoca.
Just a gorgeous, gorgeous Wisconsin shot right there.
Yeah, this was on our Facebook yesterday, and it went viral because obviously you've got the snow on the ground, but we talked about this earlier and the fact that a lot of farmers still have their crop in the field, which is kind of a sad sight to see, even though it looks picturesque.
A nod to our hardworking farmers right there.
Yeah, hopefully they can get some more work done in the coming days. I know the weather doesn't help this morning, but our thoughts are with them. Thank you so much for sharing, Jolene. If you've got a photo of your morning, all you have to do is send it to us over on our Facebook page. Right now, Chick-fil-A is no longer donating money to charities with anti-LGBTQ views. The fast food chain says starting next year will only donate to organizations that focus on education, homelessness, and hunger. For years, gay rights groups have boycotted and opposed the chain over its stance on same-sex marriage.
Meanwhile, Burger King is facing a lawsuit after a vegan claimed the company is falsely promoting their Impossible Whopper as meat-free. The proposed class action lawsuit says they're cooked on the same grill as regular burgers, so they're contaminated with meat byproducts. Burger King's online menu says the Impossible Whopper is 0% beef. The suit is looking for compensation for everyone who bought the burger.
Trending now, the Milwaukee Brewers are debuting their new logo with a retro twist. Check this out. It's all to celebrate the club's 50th anniversary. The jerseys feature the old ball and glove design with modern coloring. The team also unveiled 4 new jersey designs as the MLB transitions from Majestic clothing to Nike.
I think those look really sharp. I'm still struggling with the name change from Miller Park.
I know. That's what I think a lot of people were expecting the announcement yesterday, but I think this is kind of cool. I've always loved the classic look. It just looks really nice to me.
I agree. A nod to history.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we are continuing to track a wintry mix as you head out on your morning commute. Here's a live look outside right now. That snowy, slushy mix. It's moving into the area, folks. Hattie's got your full alert day forecast that's coming up next.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. We thank you for that, and we'll be right back. .45 on a Tuesday morning. Live look at the Beltline. All is good right now, for now though, but we do have a wintry mix moving its way on in, and it looks like it's going to be a mess of a morning commute. Meteorologist Hattie McLean has the first alert on the weather and traffic this morning. Hi, Hads.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. You're right. We are watching some mixed precipitation across southern Wisconsin. Pretty quiet so far here in Madison, but 3 things that you need to know. There is that potential for a mix early today, and especially west of Madison, where we've had some snow already. Roads could be slippery. There is a small potential for some freezing rain to mix in as well. Cloudy skies, milder conditions for Wednesday, but then we turn our focus towards the next system, and that will arrive Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll be on the warm side, so all rain. We're talking over a half an an inch of rain, maybe up to 1 inch of rain for southern Wisconsin. That's a lot of moisture for this time of the year. Take a look at your future track snow potential. And again, we've had a little bit of light accumulation through southwestern Wisconsin. It's still depicting some minor accumulations over the next couple of hours. No accumulating snow, though, here in Madison. And this is why. Take a look at high-resolution Doppler radar. You'll see some mixed precipitation across southern Wisconsin, generally sliding to the south and east. As it tries to push eastward, it encounters relatively dry air. So you're starting to see that precipitation break up a little bit as it reaches the Madison area. We may see some raindrops or some snowflakes for a time this morning, but any precipitation is likely going to be on the light side. And if we zoom the map out, you'll see that this is a pretty isolated event for the region. All around us, dry weather conditions. So once this rain and snow diminishes through the morning hours, the rest of the day will be dry. We then turn our attention, though, towards Wednesday night. Here's your future track forecast model starting at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Dry conditions, just cloudy skies and a southeasterly wind. Rain spreads across the area overnight, and with temperatures and south winds on the mild side, all rain through Thursday morning, coming to an end by the afternoon on Thursday. But again, no snow with this next system for us. It will be all rain. Future track precipitation is anywhere from a ½ inch to maybe around 1 inch for southern Wisconsin. So it's turning quite wet as we head towards the middle of the week. Now this morning, we start out with temperatures close to the freezing point. In fact, it is 32 here in Madison, only 30 in the Dells. Janesville's at 34. We have 33 in Platteville. So with temperatures this close to the freezing point, that's why there's the potential for some rain to mix in with that snow. Future track forecast model starting this morning, it does keep a little bit of light precipitation from Madison and points to the west in the area through the 7 and 8 o'clock hours, but it winds down pretty quickly. By lunchtime, just cloudy skies. Temperatures will be climbing into the upper 30s this afternoon. We'll stick with clouds through the evening hours, but it will remain dry across southern Wisconsin. And again, most of the day on Wednesday will be dry, but then that rain moves in Wednesday night and continues through Thursday morning. So a wet commute Thursday, highs in the upper 40s, close to 50, but then it cools down. At least the sunshine returns for the weekend. Here's our pet walk forecast. Look at this cool doggy. Sunglasses on, one paw on the table. Reggie's a cool dude in Cottage Grove.
Chilling out on a Tuesday.
He's ready to party.
Yeah, not bad.
No sunglasses needed for this ride, though.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, but if you're cool like Reggie, just wear them all the time.
Exactly. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Stay with us for the morning sprint up next. 6:51, time for the morning sprint as we give you everything you need to know before heading out the door.
That includes a mess of a morning commute with a wintry mix. Hattie's starting us off this morning with her alert day forecast. Hattie?
Good morning, Lee and Josh. You're right. It is an alert day for southern Wisconsin, especially the southwestern corner of the state, where we've had some snow and some mixed precipitation already this morning. Just trying to work its way into the Madison area. We may see some light snow, but no accumulation is expected. Visibility is down to just over a mile in Platteville with some snow falling right now, so keep that in mind. Probability of precipitation, though, back to very low chances after the lunch hour. So this is mainly a morning event for southern Wisconsin.
A man is behind bars following a manhunt that involved police and even drones. Now, the suspect was actually caught here in this swampy area just off John Nolan Drive and Rimrock Road at around 12:45 this morning. A person was pulled over for a violation. They slowed the car, but before the car could come to a complete stop, the suspect got out and ran away, actually leaving the car in reverse, leading it to cross lanes on John Nolan Drive, hit a curb where it thankfully stopped. Monona, Fitchburg, Madison police responded to this and actually located the person by using drones and a canine. They found them inside this swampy area. We've asked police more about the suspect, including their gender and what they were pulled over for. We will get you an update when we have those answers. Back to you.
Keely, thank you. A newly released 11-page letter is detailing Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson's involvement in the ongoing impeachment inquiry. Senator Johnson released the letter with his version of events after the House GOP asked for any first-hand information he had about the Ukraine scandal. In his letter, Johnson wrote it did not register with him if the president told his aides to talk to Rudy Giuliani about matters related to Ukraine.
Public hearings for that inquiry pick back up today. Vice Presidential aide Jennifer Williams is one of the witnesses set to testify. She's one of 3 people who listened in on the president's July phone call with the president of Ukraine. CBS This Morning will have live coverage starting at 8 a.m.
Vice President Mike Pence is gearing up to visit Wisconsin once again this week. His office says he'll tour and speak at Marinette Marine tomorrow. The vice president was first scheduled to visit the company in October, but it was canceled at the last minute.
10 Democratic presidential candidates are set to debate tomorrow in Atlanta. This debate will have 2 fewer candidates than there were for October's debate. The lineup includes Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, Tom Steyer, Elizabeth Warren, and Andrew Yang.
A local teen with 9 open cases in the court system is due back in court today. 17-year-old DeMonte Tillman is facing counts of theft, burglary, criminal damage to property, hit and run, bail jumping, and stealing a car. He managed to get out of jail on a signature bond each time he was arrested up until his most recent arrest 2 weeks ago. His preliminary hearing is set for 9 o'clock this morning.
The man suspected in an attempted homicide is being held on a cash bond this morning. 32-year-old Donald Lewis was arrested in connection with that shooting at Club Landmark on Madison's east side in October. A 36-year-old man was shot outside the club and showed up at the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police were able to get DNA from the scene and match it back to Lewis. He'll be back in court a week from today.
Looking ahead, a Sun Prairie teen could serve more than 3 years in prison for terrorism charges. 17-year-old Gabriel Pierre reportedly told a staff member at the Early Learning Center that he wanted to be a shooter and planned to use his next paycheck to buy a gun. The teen's mom told police his father had hunting rifles in their home, but that they're locked up in a safe.
The man who started shooting inside Vision's nightclub on the city's east side will spend time behind bars. 36-year-old Cole Foster will serve 10 months in jail with work release and 4 years of probation. Foster was found guilty of first-degree reckless injury and endangerment, among other charges. 4 people were hospitalized in that shooting. A 5th person was stabbed.
We now know the name of the victim killed in a Rock County shooting this past weekend. 34-year-old Dwayne Buchanan was shot before 4 in the morning Saturday in Beloit, not far from Beloit College. Police say that they are searching for 2 cars believed to be connected to the murder, a silver SUV and a blue Volkswagen sedan. Both could have broken windows.
Investigators say they have found the human remains of one of the 2 missing Wisconsin brothers in Nebraska. Officers say a rancher found the remains in a tub inside a stock trailer that was recently bought in Missouri. That's where the 2 brothers were believed to have been killed this summer. Deputies noticed personal items in the tub as well, possibly belonging to one of the brothers.
The girlfriend of a man found dead in his home is being charged in connection with his death. Officials say Jason Daly died from blunt force trauma. A deputy visited his home because he hadn't been to work in 2 days. 27-year-old Crystal Ferris is being charged with first-degree intentional homicide, hiding a corpse, and neglecting a child. Police found Ferris unresponsive and on top of a 2-month-old baby with a bag of pills next to her.
6:56 now. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with a look at your first alert traffic. Hey, Josh.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Delays popping up on the westbound side of the Beltline now between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. It's going to add a few minutes to your drive and plan on things getting busier over the next hour or so. Inbound side of John Nolan starting to tap the brakes at Rimrock and then again at Olin Avenue, making your way into the downtown area. Things may be slick with some fog and mist on the roadways this morning, but so far, other main routes coming into the city, they're moving at the posted speeds with no crashes or delays. With your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you very much, Josh.
And here's a live look from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Still snowing there. You can see some light snow starting to stick on the parking lots and on the grassy surfaces. So everything with a fresh coating of white in southwestern Wisconsin. Our high-resolution Doppler radar showing you that the steadiest, heaviest precipitation is now working its way south of the state line. There may still be some light rain or snow through the next couple of hours this morning. By the afternoon, just cloudy skies with highs in the upper 30s. But keep that in mind as you head on your commute. An alert day for this morning.
Thank you very much, Hattie.
And thanks for joining us. Go make it a great day. We'll be back with a live update in just about 25 minutes.